In a lab at Harvard University, scientists are looking at data that could change the lives of millions of men. A number on a screen seems to glow, a 31% reduction in prostate cancer risk. It's a massive breakthrough. But at this exact same moment, in a quiet room somewhere, a man is looking at his own screen. He's reading about that same study, about that same number, and he feels a cold knot of confusion and shame tighten in his stomach. He has a question he feels he can't ask anyone on earth, a question about a private act, a number that seems impossible, and his deepest fear, cancer. That gap between world-class medical science and your most private, silent fears is where I, as a urologist, live. Today, we are closing that gap. We are dragging the truth about masturbation and your prostate health into the light. We will demolish the myths, give you the unfiltered science, and create a real plan. The embarrassing questions stop now. The power to protect yourself starts now. Stick with me. Before we get to the main event, let's quickly reintroduce the star of our show, the prostate gland. It's a small, walnut-sized gland that sits right below your bladder and in front of the rectum. Most men don't think about it for the first 40 or 50 years of their life. Its main job is to produce the milky fluid, the semen, that nourishes and transports sperm. It's essential for fertility. But as we age, this little gland can cause big problems. Two of the biggest fears for any man are benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. This is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate. Think of it like this: the prostate puts a squeeze on the urethra. The tube urine passes through. This leads to those frustrating symptoms: waking up all night to pee, a weak stream, the feeling that you never fully empty your bladder. It's incredibly common, affecting about 50% of men in their 50s and up to 90% of men over 80. And second, prostate cancer. This is the big one. It's the second most common cancer in men worldwide. The silent, creeping fear of a cancer diagnosis is a heavy weight to carry. For decades, we've focused on diet, exercise, and screenings, and those are all critically important. But a massive body of research, led by one of the world's most prestigious universities, has illuminated a powerful protective behavior that we need to talk about openly. Let's get right to the heart of it. The study you've probably heard whispers about. It was conducted by researchers at Harvard University and published in the journal European Urology. This wasn't a small, flimsy study. It followed nearly 32,000 men for 18 years. It was a Goliath of a study. The researchers asked these men, from all walks of life, about their average monthly ejaculation frequency. They then tracked who did and did not develop prostate cancer over the next 2 decades. The results were stunning. Men who reported ejaculating 21 or more times per month had a 31% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who reported ejaculating only 4 to 7 times a month. Let me repeat that, a 31% lower risk. In medicine, we rarely see numbers that big for a lifestyle factor. A 30% risk reduction is the kind of number you see with powerful pharmaceutical drugs. Here, we're seeing it associated with a natural, biological function. This finding has been supported by other studies, making the evidence hard to ignore. Now, you're probably asking 2 things. Why? And is 21 some kind of rigid, magic number? Let's tackle the why first. So, what's the biological mechanism here? Why would frequent ejaculation protect the prostate? The leading theory is something we call the stagnation hypothesis. Think of your prostate as a dense sponge with tiny, winding rivers, or ducts. The fluid your prostate produces flows through these ducts. Now imagine if that fluid just sits there for a long time. It becomes stagnant. In this stagnant fluid, several things can happen. A buildup of carcinogens, potentially cancer-causing substances, either from your diet or the environment, can get trapped in the prostatic fluid. If they sit there, they have more time to do damage to the cells lining the ducts. Crystal formation. Small calcifications, like tiny stones, can form. These can cause inflammation, and we know that chronic inflammation is a major driver of cancer development. And finally, old cells linger. Your body is constantly replacing old cells with new ones. Ejaculation helps to flush out these older, potentially damaged cells that might be more prone to becoming cancerous. So, each ejaculation acts like a flushing mechanism. It's like opening a dam to cleanse the river system. It clears out old fluid, stagnant cells, and potential carcinogens, keeping the entire glandular environment healthier and less hospitable to cancer. It's a simple, elegant theory, and it makes a lot of sense from a biological standpoint. This is where the questions and the myths really start to fly. In my clinic, I hear them all. Let's tackle the biggest ones head on. Myth number 1. Is 21 the magic number? What if I only hit 15 or 19? Please, do not get hung up on the number 21. It's not a password to good health. It was a statistical cutoff point in a study. The key takeaway from the Harvard research is that more is better than less. The relationship appeared to be dose-dependent. This means that men who ejaculated 13 to 20 times per month also had a lower risk than those in the 4 to 7 group, just not as low as the 21-plus group. The principle is consistency and frequency. Think of it as a spectrum, not a switch. Myth number 2. Will this lower my testosterone or drain my life force? This is a big one, rooted in both ancient beliefs and modern bro science. Let's separate fact from fiction. Medically speaking, masturbation does not permanently lower your testosterone. Testosterone levels might fluctuate slightly around the time of sexual activity, but they quickly return to your baseline. The idea of depleting a finite life force is a spiritual or philosophical concept, not a medical one. From a urological and endocrinological perspective, your body is designed to produce sperm and seminal fluid continuously. You are not using it up. Myth number 3. Does it have to be with a partner, or does masturbation count? The study didn't distinguish. The key biological mechanism is the ejaculation itself, the physical act of clearing the prostate ducts. So yes, masturbation is just as beneficial in this context. This is about your personal health, and it's a habit that is entirely within your control. Myth number 4. Can you do it too much? Can it be harmful? From a purely physical prostate health perspective, there is no known upper limit where it becomes dangerous. Your body will tell you when it needs a break. The only potential downsides are things like skin chafing or muscle soreness, which are temporary. The more important consideration is the psychological aspect. If masturbation is interfering with your relationships, your work, or causing you distress, then it's something to discuss with a doctor or therapist. But for the vast majority of men, this isn't a physical risk. This is the most important part of our entire conversation. I need you to lean in and hear this clearly. Frequent ejaculation is a powerful tool, but it is not a silver bullet. You cannot masturbate your way out of a bad diet and a sedentary lifestyle. To truly protect your prostate and your overall health as you age, you need a holistic approach. I call it the prostate protection plan. Ejaculation is just one pillar. Here are the others. First, eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Load up on foods rich in lycopene, like cooked tomatoes, tomato sauce, and watermelon. Enjoy cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Drink green tea. Reduce your intake of red meat and high-fat dairy, which have been linked to a higher prostate cancer risk. Second, move your body. Exercise is non-negotiable. It helps you maintain a healthy weight, which is crucial. Obesity is a major risk factor for aggressive prostate cancer. Aim for 30 minutes of moderate activity, like a brisk walk, most days of the week. Third, don't skip your checkups. This is your early warning system. Talk to your doctor about screening for prostate cancer. This usually involves a simple blood test called the PSA test, and sometimes a digital rectal exam. Yes, it's a bit awkward, but that 5 seconds of awkwardness could save your life. Think of it like building a fortress to protect your health. Frequent ejaculation is one strong wall, but you also need the walls of diet, exercise, and medical screenings to be truly secure. We started this conversation by imagining that man, alone with his fears and his questions. My goal today was to give him, and to give you, the answers. Not just a piece of information, but permission to participate in your own health in a way you never thought possible. That's what I want for you. The evidence is strong. Frequent ejaculation is associated with a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer, likely by keeping your prostate flushed and healthy. It's a natural, free, and accessible tool in your health arsenal. So let's end the silence. Let's end the shame. Let's start talking about men's health all of it openly. And honestly, if you found this information valuable and empowering, my first request is that you share this video with one man in your life who you care about. A brother, a father, a friend. Let's spread the knowledge. Second, I want to hear from you. The comment section is a safe space for us to continue this conversation. What is one thing about your health you've always been afraid or embarrassed to ask a doctor about? Let me know below, and I may make it the topic of my next video. Finally, taking control of your health is a continuous journey. If you want more science-backed, no-nonsense health advice to help you thrive, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Be well, stay informed, and take control. I'll see you in the next video.